On this episode, I'm going to talk to y'all about Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger faces possible maximum life in prison.
This isn't really a typical criminal trial.
This is not about getting acquitted.
Don't you want to know what really went on?
I asked the questions, I got the answers. For money. I had contacts in the state police, the Boston police, also in the FBI.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bamm Raw TV. And I want y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. On this episode, I'm going to talk to y'all about Whitey Bulger, the Irish Mafia individual who Johnny Depp portrayed him in the movie. Now, Whitey Bulger, as you seen, as described in the movie, they said he was allowed to be a killer out there because he was an informant. Allegedly, he was an informant, so therefore, he was allowed to be a killer out there. He was mercenary as a killer, and he was doing his thing. Now, Whitey Bulger went on the run. He did a good job, though. He stayed on the run for many years. They catch him at the age of 80-something. When they catch him at the age of 80-something, all his immunity is no longer intact.
I think he should sit in jail and rot and be miserable, just like we've been for the last 30 years.
Whitey Bulger ended up getting convicted. When Whitey Bulger got convicted, they sent him to federal penitentiary. Now, somebody told Whitey Bulger something about West Virginia, a penitentiary called Hazleton, USP Hazleton. Somebody had to tell Whitey Bulger about that place because Whitey Bulger had his lawyers to file every kind of thing to stop him from going to that penitentiary. His lawyer filed a bunch of different petitions to prevent him from going to that place. But unfortunately, they failed. The gangster, Whitey Bulger, who had killed many people, allegedly, that he had been on the run for many years. This place had to be his destination. And the fact that he knew something was wrong about this place for him, and he had never been there. Now me, I was there. When I was at Hazleton, West Virginia, I caught 3 more years for assaulting an officer. Hazleton is one of the most volatile penitentiary, which make it even that more dangerous in the federal system. I was there 3 months before catching the charge of assault on an officer. I spent 18 months in the hole fighting the officers after I had been indicted. It was a clusterfuck. There was nothing. We stayed locked down every week, every 2 weeks, because everybody was sitting there waiting on somebody to get off that bus to kill. The independent white boys was waiting on any Aryan brothers or dirty white boys to get there. They was going to kill them. They had a group of GDs who had branched off from the original GDs. They were actually waiting on any GDs to come there from Chicago. They gonna kill them and stab them as soon as they get out the bus. As soon as a new bus come in and the people get out the bus, you can expect us to be on lockdown. If a clean bus come through and ain't nobody there that's a victim, we happy for it. But you don't breathe a sigh of release until after the next day. If we ain't locked down the next day, then that means that was a good bus. The bus came through, wasn't nobody on there that was on the list. Now all of us down there knew that Whitey Bulger was on that list. The Beantown people, what we call the Beantown people, was guys from Boston, and there was some Irish mafia dudes that I knew from Lewisburg, USB Lewisburg, and there was some that was down there. And these guys had already set their sight, and they have enough money. They have enough money to pay the bill to get whoever they wanted to kill. And they knew they were sitting there watching the newspaper, they were watching the tabloids. They was already making plans that when Whitey Bulger came there, he was gonna die. The man was already dead. Once they put him on that compound, it was just a matter of time. So me personally, I was fighting my case and I got away from there. And I actually remember seeing on a judgment, either on the TV or in the papers or something, and they said Whitey Bulger had tried to prevent his transfer to Hazleton, and it had went through, and that Whitey Bulger was going to go to Hazleton. So I sit there then, I couldn't find nobody to bet me, but I guaranteed that Whitey Bulger was going to be dead within a week. And, to my surprise, he was dead within a day. But I knew he was a dead man walking in the wheelchair. He was a dead man. And that's the one thing about being in a place like Hazleton or any place in the pit. If you are a known man and you're known solid, they will make you aware of what's going to happen so you can get your people out the way. See, if I had been there when Whitey Bulger got off the bus, all my people would have their ice and they'd be in their cell, make sure they got plenty of soups, make sure they got everything they need to last through a lockdown. And other men's was made aware of that the same thing if they were solid men's. And their job was to keep it to themselves. And so I knew before he got there he was going to be dead.
Did this convicted hitman take out mob boss Whitey Bulger? Freddie Gias has been named as one of 4 inmates who beat Bulger to death in his prison cell with a padlock inside a sock, according to a published report. The beating was so savage, 89-year-old Bulger was unrecognizable when his body was found. It's believed he had a target on his back because he'd been exposed as an FBI informer. Freddie hated rats, one source says. He's serving life for a gangland slaying and reportedly didn't dispute his role in Bulger's killing. Bulger's killers were seen on surveillance tape entering his cell around 6 a.m., moments after the cell was unlocked for breakfast. The killers reportedly tried to cut out his tongue and gouge out his eyes. Traditional payback for an informer.
I could have predicted you thought I was Nostradamus. They was laying there waiting. He wasn't the only one they waited for, but we stayed locked down every 2 weeks. Somebody killing somebody or stabbing them to near death. And I was there basically altogether about 4 or 5 months on the compound before I caught my charge, and I did the other 18 months in the hole as they indicted me, and going back and forth to court until I finally got my time for assault on officer, 2 knives they found in my cell, and some tobacco. Now, all this gangsterism that Whitey Bulger did out on the streets, all this mercilessness that he showed to the people that he dealt with, it came back. It came back on him, and there's no schedule, no time. And same police that he cooperated with and he helped, got other people, or the same police that put the handcuffs on him and drove him to his death, released him to his death, and so he died. Now you look up Whitey Bulger, and you can look at my paperwork. You can see prior to him getting there that I caught my time down there in 2009, 2008, 2009 when I caught assault on officer in the commission of his duties, and 2 knives were found in my cell. But at that very time, they were sitting there talking about killing Whitey Bulger when he got there. And Hazen was the place that if he gonna get killed, it was gonna get done there. So y'all look up Whitey Bulger, and Johnny Depp played him in the movie, and how vicious he was and everything, and how he was on the run for such a lengthy period of time. Some people say he had help from the police because they didn't want him to reveal some of the things he knew about them. Some people say he didn't. It ain't for me to say. It's to say that I knew from Lewisburg to Hazleton that Whitey Bulger was going to die. It's just a matter of time of which penitentiary that he went to, he was going to die. And I tell y'all again, that's the story, that what I know about Whitey Bulger and his situation. And this is Bamm Bamm, the 411 Giant for Bamm Bamm Raw TV.
I hope it was a brutal murder instead of a natural cause.
What did Whitey do to your family?
Destroyed it.
Bulger's brother, Jackie Bulger, wasn't sure what was going on.
I have no idea. That's the first I heard of it. I heard he wasn't feeling good a while back. That's all I heard. I don't have anything to say right now.
A lot of you have gotten that there are allegations still out there that we're not really out to catch them, and I'm here to tell you we are out to catch them.
James Whitey Bulger, born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1929, Whitey Bulger was a notorious Boston crime boss who led the infamous Winter Hill Gang from the mid-1970s to the mid-1990s, engaging in illegal activities including gambling, loan sharking, and murder. Surprisingly, Bulger was also a secret FBI informant. His brother William Bulger was a prominent Massachusetts politician, creating an unusual dynamic within the Bulger family. Bulger was on the FBI's most wanted fugitives list for 16 years, second only to Osama bin Laden. He was eventually captured in 2011 in Santa Monica, California, living under a false identity. His life inspired several Hollywood films, including Black Mass, where Johnny Depp portrayed Bulger, highlighting his brutal and complex character. In 2018, at the age of 89, Bulger was brutally murdered by several mafia-affiliated inmates in a West Virginia prison, marking a grim end to his long and infamous life in crime.
Fugitive Boston crime boss James Whitey Bulger has been arrested.
After spending 16 years on the run, Bulger was on the FBI's most wanted list.